Is this guy supposed to be the ultimate badass?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Frisco Report. We're in it to win it, bro. We've got a great show tonight, man. We've got a lot of stuff to come out and talk about. Mike, how are you doing, bro? The bros. How are you doing, man?
It was another week. We're 16 days away from draft day. You know, there's pro day still going on. Some players doing better numbers than what they did at the combine, which is good to see. So stock, Joe, is rising in that aspect of it. All right, it's kind of like that chicken fat. When you boil some chicken, you got to skim off the top. And that's what they're doing. We're skimming off the top. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here.
That's Cowboys Corner, bro. Mike of Mike. Sanchez, bro. He's right here. The one and only.
He's in the building!
I love it, man. All right, man. So, man, we got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the breaking news here, all right? Adam, all right, talking about Cowboys sleeper team to drafting a quarterback. Wow, bro. What do you think of this? Is he hearing something behind the scenes? Are there rumblings, whispers? What's going on here, Mike?
I think it's a mixture of everything, Joe. You know, there's going to be a lot of rumors. There's going to be a lot of circulation. There's going to be a lot of players pinpoint. Like today, I seen Marvin Harrison has pinpointed to the Cardinals. And if you want that fourth spot, you got to give up 3 first-round picks, right? There's that rumor. There's rumors that the Washington Redskins aren't, sold on Drake May or Caleb Williams. They're going to go after another guy. And the Bears ain't sold on Caleb Williams. There's so many rumors, Joe. So why not put the Cowboys in that narrative, right? Could he be hearing something? Absolutely. He's Adam Schefter, right? So he could be hearing stuff, right? And, any good franchise, Joe, it's going to draft a quarterback regardless if your quarterback's on a 1-year deal left or not. Because you have to keep building. You have to keep drafting. Dallas, on the other hand, they don't. They gave up a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance last summer, Joe. Trey Lance been stashed there, right? So they're going to get a good look at Trey Lance here in the voluntary OTAs here very soon, right? So you look at, so when the Cowboys mindset, you look at this draft, McCarthy, you look at, Bo Nix, right? You look at some of these other guys down at the bottom of the draft. Yeah. Are they better than Trey Lance? From what you know and what you've seen from Lance, are they better than Trey Lance? And if they are, that's where you get in the rumbles, Joe. If they aren't, that's just clickbait media talk, right? Typical Dallas Cowboy media clickbait. So when you evaluate these quarterbacks in this draft, Joe, you have to think to yourself, who's better than Trey Lance? Who has higher upside versus a 31-year-old quarterback versus a 20 to 22-year-old quarterback? Who has higher upside for your franchise? So you have to balance that out too. I like that this is in the news because if it is true, Joe, the Dallas Cowboys are doing what a franchise should be doing. And that is putting competition at the quarterback position where quarterback competition needs to be. Period. And I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, in case you guys are just joining us right now, we are talking about the latest rumor here from Adam Schefter, breaking news. He believes that the Cowboys could be a sleeper team for a quarterback. So that's the news that it just came out here from Adam Schefter, where there's smoke, there could be fire, baby.
No, absolutely, Joe. And you got to look. I put out a tweet months ago that what happens with Dak Prescott's contract, Cowboys could draft a quarterback early. This shouldn't be any news to anybody, whether you're anti-Dak or whether you're pro-Dak. You should be looking. I did a mock draft today, Joe. I sent it to you.
Indeed.
And my 7th round draft pick, Joe, Notre Dame quarterback, Sam Hartman. You have to be looking at the quarterback position one way or another because Cooper Rush is on his last year. Trey Lance on his last year. Dak Prescott on his last year. You have no promises to a quarterback next year. So why not it don't have to be a 1st-round quarterback. It don't have to be a 3rd round. It don't have to be a 4th round. Just have a quarterback drafted. Mine today in my mock draft was Sam Hartman in the 7th round, Joe.
Bro. It's about being about the team. You know what I mean? We've been stuck in neutral here for a while here. They missed on that rookie window with Zeke and Dak. All right, that window's closed. All right, the age. We've talked about that over and over. I'm not going to mention it anymore. I've done 2 videos on it. Go back and check those. Age matters. All right, I'll just say that it's a young man's league. But man, yeah, I think it's about being smart. A lot of these teams they throw pick at quarterbacks, stash, maybe flip them. Green Bay has been pretty good at doing this type of thing. Niners, they do it. The Patriots did it a few years under Belichick. Where you draft and you flip a guy, Garoppolo. You go and you flip some of these other. Yeah, exactly. So, not only is it taking a flyer on somebody, but you could have somebody who could be a trade asset. But I think in the Cowboys' place, I think the Joneses feel the pressure here that we're missing that one final piece, right? And of course, you're gonna have the stat people out there, and they're still out there, bro. Oh, lowest interceptions, elite, this and that, and also the BS, bro. Like you can throw all the stats up your ass, bro. Like if you're not making it in the conference championships,
time to move on.
Yeah, I mean you can't even enter the conversation. Like Danny White at least got to the conference championship. He lost, but he made it to the conference championship.
Yeah,
and that couldn't get that far.
Romo couldn't either.
I base a quarterback on playoff victories on how far you're getting your team, bro. Plain and simple. That's how it should be with every fan, not stats, bro.
I think I said this last week, Joe. You have to know as a fan, right? If you want to play media and you want to play, GM guru and you want to play this and that, and you want to put on this frontation like X's and O's, you have to know that the window's closed for Dak Prescott. His window was 2016, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23. That was his window. When you go 36 wins, Joe, when you do that and have the same result, that window's shut. It's done. You can't have 12-win, three 12-win seasons and keep trying to chase that dream because it's never going to happen, Joe. If you do this for a living, you have to know that window's closed. You have to know. So it's time to move on.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? So interesting rumor from Adam Schefter, jumping on this right at the gate. We'll see where these other rumblings come out of next. I don't know if you hear it from somebody here locally. I'm talking about somebody with a trusted source like a Michael Gelkin. I think then this could really pick up here. All right, let me get this link to Danny Mike.
Get him in here. But like Joe was saying, you need to get your trusted sources. Like I have my notification bell on. to Michael Gelkin on Twitter. Like, that's my dude. That's the guy I go to. Refresh my page, go to Michael Gelkin's page. The guy's spot on. He does incredible work with Dallas Morning News. He called Tyler Smith when everyone had Tyler Smith in the second round. Everyone had Tyler Smith, concerns with leading the NCAA in penalties. Michael Gelkin pinpointed Tyler Smith to the Cowboys. That's credibility right there. It's little things like that. And so, find your sources and don't do a fan turn media guy, because his sources are going to be mixed and matched, because more of it's going to be more guessing than it is anything else. So find your media guy who you can really trust. Again, you can follow Michael Gelkin on Twitter, and get all that squared away. But Danny Savage, who Joe's trying to get in here, knows that him and Joe know these draft players. So this next topic, they're going to be able to just hit you with the knowledge, all right, of draft, which is 16 days away, guys. Everybody hit that like button. Awesomeness Sports, Cowboys champ, Mike Brando, the best moderator in the game, all in the soil, Ultra Cowboy. Shout out to all you guys. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you're ready for the draft.
Okay. Yeah, wait, I'm trying to send this to Danny, but his messaging is not enabled on his Twitter, so I'll wait for that to get going here.
Do y'all follow each other?
Yeah, I'm following him. But you can turn that off where people can't message you. So we'll get this going here in a minute.
Cowboys put some ice. He ain't ready for the draft. James, put some fire in the chat. He's ready for the draft, Joe.
Yeah, so it's fun, bro. So the next topic, Mike, I'm talking about, the coaches that could be in the running in case McCarthy, is his last year. His final year of his contract. Who could be out there? You've got some of the names out there, obviously hovering over. You've got obviously Belichick taking a year off. You've got who else out there, Mike?
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel. That's another one to keep in mind there. Vrabel. You've got Kellen Moore, unfortunately, will be in the mix just because the relationship with Jerry and this kind of shit. He's still roaming around out there. The name to keep an eye on, Deion Primetime Sanders, bro. So we've got Mike Zimmer here, all right? Consultant working with Deion Sanders, Jackson State, Colorado, all right? Could this be something to watch? Could it be that Deion is like just waiting in the wings? Mike, and he's said that he would not coach but money talks, the star talk, Mike. Let's just talk about that briefly here. What do you think the chances of Deion being in the mix for Cowboys, possibly, if there's an opening here?
My honest opinion, 0%. 0% chance Deion will coach this team. But for the sake of the topic, Joe, let's say it's 100% sure thing. Mike McCarthy is the scapegoat once again. Dak Prescott is also the scapegoat. Both of them gone. They bring in Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
I think God, I don't know. He likes to coach teenagers, young adults. Can he coach a guy like Zach Martin, who's seasoned? Like Nick Saban never translated to the NFL, never did, right? And that's why he always stayed at the NCAA. Can Deion Sanders coach men? I know he can coach young adults, but can he coach men, Joe? That's the question at hand. We can get super excited. We can get super thrilled. But the question at hand, that's why I don't like Mike McCarthy. He can't motivate men. Deion Sanders might be able to motivate them, but with that motivation, does stupid mistakes come? Because he can't coach them. That's That's my thing.
It's going to get very interesting, and obviously this is something way, 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 way in the future. But the fact that Zimmer's here, Mike, could there be an influence on what we take as far as defensive players? You know what I mean? As far as like, let's say Zimmer's here for 1 year, and then we all know that it took a couple of weeks. There was a couple of some massaging behind the scenes to get the deal done, which adds more to this rumor here. What was it? What was promised? And is this really more than a 1 year deal, Mike?
For Mike Zimmer?
Yeah.
It all depends on, for the sake of the argument, I guess Deion and Mike Zimmer go way back, right? We know this. And I think, Mike Zimmer will be in the building. Deion Sanders comes in and says, "Hey, I want you as my defensive coordinator." Then I think that's what gets it ticking, right? Or Deion Sanders can say, "I want you as a defensive back coach. I don't want you as a defensive coordinator. I already got a guy for that. Do you want to be my defensive back coach?" Right? So there's so many different ways they can happen, but it's all up to Deion. If he gets that, for the sake of the argument, he gets the job, what he wants to do with Mike Zimmer. Does he want to keep him? Does he want to make him assistant head coach and be defensive coordinator part-time, but mainly, assistant head coach, and how he works on that, all on that.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
And I get it, guys. We a lot of people are putting 0% in the chat. We know that, but this is the topic at hand, right? It's mock season, right? What's mock? Unreal, unrealistic, not true, right? So this is mock off season. So we're mocking Deion to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys for next year. Doesn't make it biblical. Doesn't make it etched in stone. Doesn't make it real. So just keep that in your brain. Don't panic. Don't have a heart attack.
We got a new guest of the show.
He's in the building!
Danny Savage, what's up, baby? What's up, bro?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How's everything going?
That's going good, man. It's going good. We've hit up a couple topics here out the gate, man. Just want to get your initial thoughts on the first one that we hit up on, the initial rumor here from Adam Schefter talking about Cowboys could be a sleeper team for quarterback. What's your thoughts on that, Danny?
I think every year you should throw around a day 3 pick out of. I'll give you the perfect day 3 guy this year. Baby Tua Tagovailoa's younger brother at Maryland. This kid played on a horrible team, and all this kid did was make plays with his arm and his feet. And I'm going to stamp it. The kid tore up the Senior Bowl, got MVP of the game. Don't be shocked. And I'll be honest, out of all the positions, QB is probably my weakest. And it seems like it's everyone's weakest. Don't be surprised he has a better career than his older brother, Tua, because this kid has a set of wheels. And he has zero pressure. You take him round 6, round 7, just go watch the tape. Go watch his Maryland tape. Tua broke his hip at Bama. He came in as a stationary quarterback. And then if you touch him, he gets concussions. But a day 3 guy, I would throw a round pick at him. Every year I would throw. It can't hurt. But, and I use the perfect example. Jimmy Johnson, 2 years in a row, used the number 1 on quarterbacks. Troy, and he used the next year, Steve Walsh. So you can never have enough quarterbacks. What's the worst you're going to do? Trade them to another team and get draft capital? So,
yeah, that's kind of what our sentiment is here too, right? Like, it doesn't hurt. You should be doing this regardless. Cowboys haven't. I mean, they've done it here and there, but sparingly, right? Guys that barely even touch the practice squad don't even make the team most of the time. Could this be the year? But I do love where there's smoke, there could be fire, baby.
But now I got a question for you. If we draft a quarterback, who are we leaving off the team?
Oh, it's got to be Cooper Rush, man. He's won some games for us, and he's got the experience and this and that. But I think you got to get you got to do some kind of reboot action here, man. You carry Lance, you carry Dak, you carry the rookie, and then You let these guys have a strong quarterback room, learn this offense.
Yeah,
Look at 2025, man. See what that's going to look like.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's where that on that, Danny. Also, the other one here, the thought on Zimmer, right? Your defensive coordinator. He is going to pound the table for his prospects, right? That's kind of what we're talking about. But also, behind that, could there be Deion a little bit of an influence as far as like what type of player he likes, what he would look for? Would there be any kind of influence on Zimmer as far as like, hey man, let's see how this thing shakes out. You know what kind of guys I like. Pound the table for this guy.
I've been saying it since Dion went to Colorado. You can check my posts. I said if he turns around Colorado, he goes to a bowl game this year, and you see Big Mike is on a lame duck year, you're gonna see Prime as the head coach in Dallas for 2025. Because I'm not saying that's the right decision, but all I'm trying to say is the way he turned around Colorado and had a million celebrities, the spring game selling out, everybody. It turned Dallas's circus to 100.0. And I also said his sons and the kid Hunter, the wide receiver DB, are going to pick what teams they go to because they're all millionaires and they're going to say, well, if you draft me, I'll just stay in school. They all have 2-3 years of eligibility left. You got to realize 2020 never counted because of COVID. So if you draft me, no problem. I'll just return to college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beyond being head coach, it's shaped up that way, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's definitely some, and the Joneses are notorious for having somebody already here when the next guy comes in here. It's rare that a coach comes in here with a totally clean slate, everybody clean, his own guys, right? It seems like every year there's a remnant of something from somebody, the previous regime, you know. So I think it's an interesting topic. Some people don't want to talk about it, but man, it's reality. You know what I mean? Like you said, lame duck season for McCarthy. Who are the other candidates? Who would the Joneses feel comfortable with? Because that's a big factor too. It's not about the young OC, or I mean, I would like the young OC from the Texans or Detroit. Detroit's got that Parcells kind of tree, so I mean that could make sense. For Dallas as well. So it's gonna be interesting off season, man. But I think you hit it right on the head with the way this could shape up. With Deion saying he's not gonna want these guys to go to certain teams. We already saw that a little bit from Caleb Williams. This NIL money is really gonna start shaping the drafts here. You got a little bit of a hint there from Caleb Williams, and I think you're just gonna see more of this type of deal, man.
Colorado was check this out. Their spring game is televised the Saturday of the draft.
Interesting.
Draft.
Very interesting. There's some to it. There's some to it, man. All right, guys. Let's get into the NFL draft. Where we're at with 30 visits. I think we're up to 28. I think we're pretty close to having everybody in here. You got the one or two they're kind of like the mystery guys or whatever. Are we 30? Do you know, guys, if we've hit that 30 mark yet? I think the last I looked, we were sitting at 28.
We're sitting at 38.
38.
What are you talking about?
The 30 visits.
Oh, no. There was some more running backs that I heard that came through. I thought you were talking about viewers. I don't know what I thought you were talking about.
Don Ali came in out of Marshall. They were saying about 6 running backs came in. The kid Wright from Tennessee, I've heard. What I'm really intrigued is I want to know who came in for Dallas Day because that's when they just clean house. There's got to be like double-digit Division I colleges.
That's the weird one. The Dallas Day info has not come out yet. I haven't seen it yet. And like I said, I said this yesterday in my mock draft. The Cowboys, they under Mike McCarthy, they like to hide. These kinds of they like to hide. Misdirection with the blue and white scrimmage. You know, you're looking at the 30 visits from the last couple of guys they haven't brought in: Lamb, Parsons, Tyler Smith, and these guys. They've kind of gone off the list. So, I mean, I think if you're talking about the same kind of thing here with getting that Dallas list kind of hidden or close to the chest, it's interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm not a poker player, but if you're gonna play poker, I wouldn't invite my top guys in. That's just me. If like whoever I'm in love with, because remember in 2020, people forget real quick. We make our needs so obvious. In 2020, we needed a safety. 3 teams jumped in front of us in round 2 and grabbed the safety. And that left us with Bossman Fats. Instead of taking Creed Humphrey, all pro center from Oklahoma who went to Kansas City, and how that worked out.
Yeah.
So, I just got a feeling that's going to happen again, round 1, round 2, and round 2.
I do too. I do think that obviously there will be some sprinkled in there, right? Because they have done that. But as far as a first round pick under McCarthy, it's been off the list. So unless this year changes, who could that possibly be that they didn't bring in, but could in fact be that pick? Mike, you have any guesses on who that might be? Who's not on that 30 list, but might be there at 24 or possible trade down?
See, this is what scares me, Joe. My PTSD kicked in as soon as Danny Seven said that, because their first round pick is usually 30-man visits. And when it isn't, you draft Morris Claiborne. They traded all the way up to the sixth pick in the first round to go get Morris Claiborne because Patrick Pete played at LSU. So they thought they were getting Patrick Pete 2.0, and all they got was a Pat Pete. No son. All right. They had no son there, and they got screwed. So to answer your question, Joe, first round pick, someone there, my goodness, you could be talking about, how far are wide receivers dropping. You could be talking about your offensive line who's not a visit. Everybody it is a first round pick talent in the offensive line. Conversation, they've met with them. So you got to think outside the box here. Linebackers too rich for the first round, in my opinion. The offensive line, they're already meeting with those first round talents. Wide receiver, could that be that? How far do they fall? You got a safety, linebacker, the defensive line. There's so many, positions where, they're meeting with the right people. Linebacker, running back, there's a tight end in there from Texas, Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle. So they're meeting with the right people of the right needs. So how is that BPA going to fall? Do they base that BPA on need, or do they base that BPA on talent? Like, this guy's better than this guy, even though they play 2 different positions. So it's hard to answer your question because everybody that I would draft in the first round, they're visiting with.
Yeah, I'll bring up a name. And for this, I would like to move back a little bit. You know what I mean? And maybe pick up a 4th from somebody. I feel bad that we don't have that 4th round pick. It's kind of eating at me. So, and I think this year, how many first round grades do you actually have? You know what I mean? Or is there a bunch of 2s and 3s in here? And I think that's what this draft feels like to me. I feel like it's deeper at the 2nd and 3rd round, right? So, do you have 15 first round grades? 18? Like, where is it at? But I wouldn't mind moving back. You know what I mean? And getting Zach Frazier if he's there. The wrestler background, I think, is a beautiful thing, and the guy is just one hell of a center, man. Oh, Hoffman and this and that. Hoffman is going to be a good backup. I just if Frazier's there or JPJ or any of these, I mean, there's other centers in the that I feel are better than the Hoffman. You know,
Scares me with Jay is he's dropping running after prom night. So there's something on with his medical. So he's dropping big time. Frazier, tell you something. The kid has 11-inch hands. 4-time state champion wrestler. His longest match was 51 seconds. The kid's a mauler. He broke his leg. He was crawling off the field. He's going to start for the next decade in this league. And I trade back, and I would jump on him in a heartbeat. But like I said, we don't know what's wrong with Powers Johnson, with a medical.
this is what I heard from Broadus on one of the podcasts they did that it seems like it's concussion related. And there's with concussions, are you a concussion or two away from having to cut it early, like a Tua Tagovailoa, where you get banged up too much, your season's over, or is it like you get one here and then you retire early? You know what I mean? I think that's where he is on that, right? So it's concussion based, from what I got from Broadus.
I'm going to be honest. Because let's be honest, with a zero tech over him, every play is a concussion.
Yeah.
That would scare me worse than a shoulder, or let's say like a tricep or a bicep.
Yeah, no doubt. The concussions, NFL, they've been, dinged on this for a long time. That's the last thing they want to do is put another guy getting knocked out on the field. So definitely something you got to watch. You got to, roll the dice there. I mean, if that's his deal and he does fall, he could be a guy that falls significantly, right? Just on that, he could be there. He could be your roll the dice second round player for the Cowboys. You know what I mean? If that's the case, man, that's
McLean. Martin has some medical issues too. It seems like all three of them. Jack Frazier's coming off a broken leg, so it seems like all three top centers have some medical issues too. But then again, Larry Allen was off a lot of teams' boards also because of a right shoulder. What did he play? 14 years in the NFL and the best guard ever. So
yeah. So that's gonna be interesting. What other names could be out there in that first round there that's not on that 30 list? How are you guys feeling about Guyton or Mims? Has any of y'all cooled off on him, or how do you feel about him?
Mims is one of my pet cats. Amarius Mims, out of Georgia, he's just one of those guys that I like. Just you turn on the tape, you see that power, you see the physicality. You see, he, like a lot of people are talking about Kinsley from BYU. That guy, I've seen him in some first round mock drafts, and I'm like, when did he start getting first round conversation? Right. So that Mims is the complete opposite of what Kinsley is, because Kinsley he has poor hands, he has bad feet. Mims is the complete opposite. I think Mims, you want to replace Tyron Smith, Mims could be there in about redshirt it, and then you get it. Newton and or Frisk. Yeah.
Man. Nah, I hear what you're saying, Mike. Yeah, these guys, they always start to rise up. You're talking about Kingsley, right? He would be kind of equivalent to the pump, the rise that the Tyler Smith got. So it always happens every year. This guy just kind of runs up to the top, rises to the top. Danny, I like these two names here from Army Mom Heather: Newton or Fisk. Could these guys be there at the bottom of the first, and would you take them?
I'm going to tell you right now, Newton was a one-man army at Illinois. He played on a horrible team. He got double teamed every single play, and nobody can block this kid. Nobody. And it's a crazy comp. I comp him to Aaron Donald. His strength, he has the size of a 3-tech, but he plays like a 1-tech. He's like a bull in a china shop. He's my defensive tackle number one, to be honest with you. And he's there, like I said, even with a trade back. What scares me about the kid Murphy from Texas, I think he benefits a lot from playing next to 400 pounds sweat. That's what scares me about him. Fisk is an overaged. He's a 24-year-old 3-tech, in my opinion. I don't think he's I don't think he's around first. I think I want to touch him to round 3, but he's my number 1 by far.
Yeah, no, I like Newton. I like Newton, man. I've almost put him in some of my mock drafts, and I like your comp. My comp for him would be a Leroy Glover. All right, if you remember Leroy Glover, Mike Zimmer had him here, and I just love what Zimmer did with him as a 4-3. Then they played with him a little bit in the 3-4 as a nose guard for a year with Parcells here, and he still made the Pro Bowl. So this guy is similar kind of traits, size, and everything. I mean, if you tell me there's a Leroy Glover in this draft class, I'm gonna go get the guy, man. So Newton there at the bottom of the first, a name that's not on the 30 list, that we're aware of. Man, that would get me kind of excited, man. You get him, you get Mozzie, who's supposedly going to get his weight up and be your 1-tech. You got some youth there in the middle. You might be cooking with some grease here,
Maybe he's the 30 visit, because I think the Texans going after him too.
He's going to be a hot commodity. Mike, what's your thoughts on Fisk? I like him in the second myself. I'd take him in the second, but I could see him in the second or third. Mike, what's your thoughts on Fisk and Newton here?
No, I think Fisk is a better overall, or excuse me, Newton is a better overall talent than Fisk. I like Fisk's size at 6'4", 292. All right, Newton's size, he's at 6'2", 340. All right, so you got a true 1 versus a true 3 technique guy. So they're going to play different positions. They're going to do different things. But if you give me a guy, that's going to be better than Mozzie Smith, that's going to be better than Jonathan Hankins, the guy's last name is Newton. All right, and I think that's what the Cowboys need. They need some physicality. They don't need plays with finesse. All right, they need that baconator, as we talk about, Joe. And Fisk, I think Tavondre Sweat, who just got pulled over by DUI, is better than Fisk. Again, different positions, I know, but if you want to go tick for tat, Isaac from Penn State is better than Fisk, in my opinion.
Interesting indeed. I think that these guys are where the defensive tackles, they just don't stretch that well for me. You know what I mean? You get past that third round and it's scrap city, man. It's like you're gonna have to find a diamond in the rough. Like, is there a Ratliff in this thing somewhere? Maybe, but that's how I feel this defensive tackle class is.
I got a good guy. FAU, Evan Anderson, defensive tackle, Florida Atlantic University. Kid 6'1", 330. He's like a bowling ball with switchblades. He moves like a running back. He's a day 3 guy all day long, round 6, round 7. But his lateral speed, I'll bet money he played running back in high school. I'll bet money. He's one of those crazy athletes who went to college, they threw 100 pounds on him, and they're like, okay, go play D-line. But
what was the name of the player, Danny?
Anderson.
Anderson?
Evan Anderson.
Evan Anderson. Okay, I got you. I hadn't seen him yet, but yeah, I'm gonna check him out. So yeah, man, the 30 list, that first round pick, what do they do? Are we staying or are we moving down, guys?
The first round pick, we got to stay. Like you said, Joe, you could trade back, go maybe with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are always calling the Cowboys. I think they've done it 2 out of the 3 years.
Seems like
so the Chiefs are going to call the Cowboys again, and notice they won 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years, right? So it makes sense that they would call the Cowboys because they're in that 32nd spot, right? So we know the Chiefs call the Cowboys. So maybe this year the Chiefs get their way. Maybe Jerry, who are you going to draft? Maybe you can get it out of him. And maybe they take that chance, like Joe said. How many first round talents are in this draft, right? To me, there's 15 to 18. If you want to go for tat, that's what it is. And so when we can do that next week, right? But I think when you boil this down, okay, what's the value of the second round, right? Because that's the meat and potatoes of your draft. Is it worth going from 24 to 32, maybe getting a third over a fourth, or maybe getting, a comp fourth? I don't know their draft picks. Maybe they're getting a late fourth and an early third or something, right? Is it worth it? Plus, you're getting the cream of the crop to start the second round, so to speak. It's not being 33, you're being 32, but you're going to start that second round. What's the cream of the crop there? Very interesting on what they're going to do.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think definitely a lot of options. I think this is the year if they are going to move down. This would be the year to do it. I don't think moving up is an option. I mean, that would surprise the hell. Guys, let me ask you this. All right, let's say whether you're picking 24 or 24 and 32, wherever in that range, right? What would be a name that if they called, you would be like, "Fuck, dude. Why? Why they draft that guy?" Give me a name or two. If you hear this name called, where you're just gonna be like, "Oh man, I don't like that one." What prospect would that be for you?
If they go to 32, it's going to be Peyton Wilson or Brooks. It's going to be the hurt linebacker or the hurt running back, the 1 year wonder. Is that Peyton Wilson or Brooks, bro? That's good. That could be what they view the cream of the crop before the second round actually starts.
That's scary.
Man,
those
are good ones.
I was watching more Notre Dame tape. I was watching more Audric Estemain, and I was watching Notre Dame versus NC State. And let me tell you something. Estemain just abused Peyton Wilson. I can't see how anyone looks at this guy. Listen, he's not even in my top 10 at linebackers. Have I been wrong before? Yeah, I've been wrong before. But I'm right more than I'm wrong. I don't see it with this person. And then you throw his medical history in there. It's like, I think I would just shut my TV off.
That's a name too, man. Yeah, if it's in that range, 24 or all the way to 32, and if it's Peyton Wilson, I don't
want him at all. He's off the board for medical reasons.
No, I'm the same, man. The medical history is just terrible, and the build. I mean, I think that's part of it. He doesn't have a linebacker build. He's too thin.
He looks like a CrossFitter. He looks like a safety. He really looks like a legit CrossFitter. I just watched the Notre Dame NC State game. Abused. He was getting in the NFL inside the tackle box.
Yeah, I don't feel good about that one. That would be a name for me too, where I would be like, man, Jonathan Brooks there, like you said, Mike. There, if they called his name at the bottom of the first, I would do the same thing, but I'd just be like, oh man. What's another name, man? There's some other ones. Who would be another one?
People might think I'm crazy, but Keon Coleman would be another one.
Keon Coleman.
Yeah, Keon Coleman would be another one. Oh, that's CD's cousin. People would be so over it, but dude, no, I wouldn't do that because then you're going to cause friction in the family. What if he don't get extended? He might. He maybe. We just drafted your cousin to replace you. Thanksgiving's going to be awkward.
Yeah, a little bit, definitely. I mean, I love Keon Coleman, just not in the first round. No.
Yeah, right. That's where I'm at. First round talk of Keon Coleman is kind of crazy to me. We'll see, man. But those are good names. For me, I'd be afraid of Latham, Alabama. They just don't translate that well, right, to the NFL, and I just feel like
Evan Neal right there.
Like, are you getting another Andre Smith? Or who are you getting? Are you getting Evan Neal? It's just draft after draft. They keep really early, and they just they translate.
Hard. Why Tyler Smith out the left tackle, but I would not want J.C. Latham round one. Well, these linemen in the last few years, they're just busts. Besides the one kid that went to Philadelphia with no ligaments in his knees, the center who's been playing guard, Dickerson, I believe his last name is. Besides him, all these Bama O-linemen, the one the Raiders took, the Giant kid, O'Neal.
Oh, yeah. Leatherwood. Oh, man. That was a disaster.
It's
We could have told them, but they don't listen to us.
like Clemson, they just don't. That's why, like, I'm down big. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Big 12 wide receivers. I'm not a fan of the conference. For every Des Bryant, there's 100 busts.
And I'm with you on that too, man. I believe that too. And people say don't judge the helmet, but there's something where there's got to be a science behind this, where they're getting recruited from, or something like this. Just like Big 12 for me. I'll say Big 12 linemen for me. Like your Big 12 D linemen. I'm not a big fan of them, but Big 12 O linemen, I'll take some of those guys. But their D linemen, holy crap, not that good.
It's a conference where they don't play defense. If you look at some of the over-unders on Saturday, it's basketball numbers. You got triple digits over-under on betting games. It's 12. I mean, it's like, so I just think a lot of the wide receivers' numbers are overinflated. Yeah, I don't like Big 12 wide receivers.
All right, baby. I think it's time to do a mock draft. Who's ready, bro? Let's get a mock draft under our belts here. All right. I'm going to be Jerry Jones. All right. Mike and Danny, y'all are going to be the guys that make the pick. And we'll see if we get some picks out of here.
Do we got to convince you, Joe? Do we got to convince Jerry to make this pick?
Yeah, you got to convince me because I might be crazy. I might be telling you guys to get me Manziel. You got to talk me out of it. So let's let's get this. Let's get the simulator going, bros. Let me pull it up here. Let's get this going, bro. Draft simulator. We're gonna use the Pro Football Network. Get that going here. Pro Football Network. Let's do 5 rounds. Dallas. All right. All right, guys. I'm gonna share this. Window. Shout out to everybody in the chat box, man. Great conversation going on out there. We're about to get a mock draft going.
Nice to have Danny Savage in the building. Big shout out to Danny Savage.
Thank you.
The Jazz.
Talking crazy coming back to Saturday, by the way.
Ready, I'll be ready.
Here we go. Show on stream. Let's go up here. All right, guys. Whoa. What the hell is that?
You shared the wrong screen. There you go. Oh, no. Go back to where you were.
Still the wrong screen, bro.
There you go. You're good. No, go back to where you were.
No, that's the wrong one.
No, you click. You had it right.
No.
You had to go back and click. Instead of doing Chrome, do your tab.
Yeah, that's what the problem was. Here we go. I got it. Here we go. All right, guys. 5 rounds. Cowboys.
I want me some glory hole.
All right. Oh, Jerry's ready to go, bro. Here we go. And we're entering the solo draft. All right. First off the bat, Jerry Jones, we're 24, guys. I want you guys to give me a pick here based on what we studied here. So we're going to stay at 24. You guys tell me as this progresses.
Above Mims, Barton, or Frazier. I'd be happy with any one of those 3 if they're on the board. If we're Pat and not getting Pat.
Botnu, he's gone. There went Mims. There went Newton. Brian Thomas. Chop. We get the phone call. No, we're not interested in that. We're going to make the pick here. All right. All right. So we're looking at these all here. We got Latham, Murphy, Graham Barton, JPJ, Kool-Aid, Penix Guyton, Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, Bo Nix, Kingsley, Jordan Morgan. Oh, that was another name. That was another name I think that could be in the mix. I forgot about him. Tyler Nubin, there is. What are you guys feeling like here?
I would go either Barton or a Morgan, to be honest with you. That's where I'm looking at.
Barton or Morgan? What about you, Mike? What are you feeling?
I'm looking at Tyler Guyton. And I know we just talked about medicals, but I'm still looking at JPJ.
JPJ. Okay. JPJ. All right. We know we got the medicals, the concussions on JPJ, Mahler. And we got Barton. Where are you putting Barton, guys? We draft him. Will McClay and Coach, where are we putting Barton at? Where are we putting Tyler at?
Well, I think the thing with Barton, why he's just versatile. You can probably, I think he's this year's Zach Martin. He can play all 5 positions, where he's probably the only lineman in this draft that can do that. This is first year. He started at center and then left tackle at every side in the NFL. So you can play him versatile.
So Barton's got a little bit of a shoulder, right? That's his kind of his medical too. So like we've said, a lot of these guys kind of have a little bit of something going on, right? We got Zach with the leg, JPJ with concussions, Barton with the
JPJ,
shoulder.
nobody thought he'd even be on the board of 24. So, around the Super Bowl and around the combine, nobody even saw his form. So, stick with your gut.
Okay. Yeah, JPJ, Graham Barton. I think for this one, I think we will go with Barton. We'll change it. I think it's a little bit safer of a pick. We'll go with Barton here, and we'll figure this thing out, man.
Well, that's a solid, in my opinion.
That's your center.
Could very well, yeah, could very well be your center. Could very well be your
Tyler Smith ain't moving. I don't know. That's just not happening. So you just drafted you a center there with Barton, which I'm happy with.
No, same here. Starts and ends up front.
Second round coming up, baby. Let's see what we got.
Cooper Beebe gone.
Cooper Beebe gone. It's another guy to keep an eye on who wasn't on the 30 visit, who could be somebody in the mix, maybe a second rounder.
Definitely.
Second round, guys.
I'm going the Texas A&M linebacker. That's where I'm going.
Edrin Cooper.
Yep.
Is Patrick Paul on the board or no? Left tackle, Houston.
Probably.
You're double dipping this early in O-line?
Well, here's my opinion on this year's draft. Offensive tackle is pretty deep. Center is deep. Guard is average. But after, I'm going to say round 2, I think offensive tackle falls off the cliff, in my opinion.
Where did he go? Is he not on here?
We got to thank the Joneses for putting us. But I do. I mean,
yeah, Paul is still there. Yeah, he's still there.
At this point, I can see a linebacker. It's just, I don't know, man. Left tackles don't fall off trees. But Cooper's a solid pick. He can get to the quarterback. He's good versus the run. He has the size. I wouldn't be against that at all.
Cooper, I think I like that there. Would he in fact make it this far down the second round? Do you think that's realistic?
I think it is.
And if it is, what are, in your opinion, what is his weakness? What's his main weakness? If he's not a first round linebacker, what's keeping him out of the first round in your opinion?
They just got devalued. It just seems like, I mean, me personally, I don't see a linebacker or a running back going in round 1 this year. It just seems like they got devalued a lot, and I don't know. It seems like none of them have like really impressed. They have the size, they have the speed, but I really don't know. It seems like the NFL, a lot of them are just bulking up safeties. and throwing them
Yeah.
out. So
I think I do like that pick there, Adrian Cooper. We're gonna go with that, guys, because I don't know if you guys saw this, man, but that workout video of Overshown, it didn't look good, bro. And I know it's still early, but it's not that early. He's been in rehab for months now.
Since last August.
He looks stiff as shit, bro. I'm like, oh, he's still warming up at this phase. I'm like, dude, I don't know, bro. I'm calling. He's starting on pup, bro. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That D- is looking more and more justified, Joe.
What scares me, Sean, he has like these toothpicks for legs, and like he looks slow. I mean, if you just had the last year to eat and lift, the kid is 6'3". There's no reason why he can't put on 20 pounds. I mean, at least 5 to 10 would be normal. I mean, he looks like this. I'm sorry, last year he was 220 in pads. And Zimmer, I mean, he's
Click all, Joe.
not a Zimmer guy. So I can see Zimmer getting his guy in round 2.
Yeah, no, that would be a good pick, man, because I just don't see him start. I don't see him going. I don't see him being ready for camp. Preseason, they're probably not going to let him play. Start the season on. Cowboys do this every year, man, with their injury guys, and that's the thing. And Mike, he's called that out a while back, and I think there's definitely something to it. You know what I mean? Where the recovery on these guys just has not. I'm hoping is different for Diggs because you got to have Diggs back at 100%.
That's your gamble.
That's your gamble. We're in the third round here. 87. Okay, we got so far we got our center guard, Graham Barton. We got Adrian Cooper, who's gonna lead this linebacker core into the future. All right. Out of A&M, a Zimmer guy all the way, man. We're sitting here in the third round. I'm thinking we got to look at
running back.
I think we got to look at running back here, man. We've got nothing right now. Our cupboard is bare. We've got little snacks in there, like snacks that you don't really want to eat. You open it up and you're like, I got to go through.
We got a strawberry Pop-Tart in there, Joe. That's what we got.
And it's stale. That's what our linebacker. I mean, that's what our running back cupboard is, dude. It is nasty in there, bro. I mean,
strawberry Pop.
So what running back?
It's not good, man. Let's see what we got. Who's available? We got some good guys in here, man. Shipley.
You already know where I'm going. I'm going to Wisconsin running back. Braylon Allen. All right, that's where I'm going. You want to talk about height, size. You want to talk about 1,000 yards. You want to talk about touchdowns. You want to talk about 31s. You want to talk about 32, Jerry? Close your eyes and picture Ezekiel Elliott. This is what you're going to get out of Allen. You're going to get a fresh Zeke. You might not get 2016, but gosh darn it, you're going to get about 80% 2016 Zeke if you draft Braylon Allen right now out of Wisconsin.
Sitting here at the third round, our next pick isn't until the fifth round. So this is the question the Cowboys I think are going to face in reality, right? How many of these running backs are going to get wiped out that are good quality star? I mean, they can be starters, a three down back, right? And who's more of a rotational? I think your rotational guys are more at the end of this, you know. But your 3 down starter type of dudes, I think this is the last round we get it for the Cowboys, right? Because you don't have that 4th round pick.
And we pick it down 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 100 picks before we pick.
Yeah, it's a ton of picks. I mean, you're just bleeding. You're bleeding away there with the tourniquet. All right, so Mike, you said Braylon. Now, what about you, Danny? Who are you liking here out of these running backs?
You got the top 3.
Yeah, Will Shipley, Braylon Allen, Bucky Irvin, Audric Estime, Loeb, Jalen Wright's there, Ray Davis.
Ray Davis 5. As long as you're cool with a 1-year contract, out of him. I think that's great. I think round 3 is a little bit for him.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'd flip a coin with either Audric Estime or Jalen Wright from Tennessee. I like Brand. I like him a lot. Granted, he's young. He's only 20, but he does not play to his size. And I just by the time he reaches maturity and he turns into a Derrick Henry, which is your hope, he's going to be ending as his contract is going to be over. But he has the size and all the tools. I just think he doesn't run as hard as his size. That's all.
What? His stats say otherwise. Are you serious? Are you saying he left a lot of meat on the bone?
I just think everyone thinking he's Derrick Henry 2.0. Does the kid have talent? Yeah. He's crazy young. He's only 20. So he can get stronger 100%. I mean, he has the whole. Listen, if you want to make a running back in a lab, it's him. 100%. It's him. From his size, his speed, I just don't think he runs as hard. But like I said, he's a young kid. He's only 20, and his best football is ahead of him. So I don't have a problem taking him, but it wouldn't be my pick.
Talk to me about. Okay, so Braylon Allen is a 30 visit. Bucky Irvin, I believe, is a 30 visit, right?
He has guy.
Jalen Wright.
By round 3.
Bucky Irvin? Where is he? You got him as a third rounder?
Oh, no. Not in my world. He's undersized, in my opinion. He's undersized. He needs to be in a running back by committee. To me, I don't want a running back by committee guy in round 3. I have to give him the ball 3 times. He's a 3-down back.
No, if I'm Jerry and I say I want a physical running back, and then later, guys, I want you guys to find me a Pollard, a slasher guy. Can we pull that out in this draft? If we go Braylon Allen here, can you guys find me a slasher later?
100%. So go Braylon Allen. His best football.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's go Braylon Allen here. Let's get thunder and lightning going here. We'll start it out there with Braylon Allen in the 3rd.
In a perfect world, that would be great. A bruiser and a speedster we get out of this draft.
Oh, man, I would love it, bro. If they could come out with that combination, we're in business, man.
Yeah, but there's a million speedsters on day 3. There's even some big guys. Carson Steele, UCLA.
Oh, I love Carson. I love that dude, man. You could sell me on getting your slasher early and getting Carson Steele later, man. I love him, man.
If we don't draft him, how much you want? I'll put money San Fran drafts him.
I could see Carson Steele going to San Fran. I could see him going to the Ravens. Oh man. He's gonna go somewhere where I'm just gonna be like, I knew you were gonna do that. Raiders. I can see him going to the Raiders. Somebody that wants attitude, right? And that's what Carson Steele is to me. He brings you that attitude, man. And here we go, man. We're bleeding with the tourniquet on. No 4th round pick, and here we come up on the 5th round. We got a bunch of players just came off the board, and we're gonna see what's left over here. Now we're gonna make our pick. We already missed out on too many picks. So here we are, guys. Recap so far: Graham Barton in the 1st, Edrin Cooper in the 2nd, Braylon Allen in the 3rd, and here we are in the 5th round, guys. Offense or defense? What are we feeling here? What need do we feel at this point with what we have already drafted?
I think you have to look at your edge rushers and your defensive tackles here.
I would look at the offensive tackle, and just glance at the guard. But I would also look at edge and D tackle too. I mean, it's all in need.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if somebody just fell here for us. That'd be awesome. Some tackles here. Yeah. Guards.
If Zinter was on the board, I would have a hard time. Zach Zinter from Michigan, he broke his leg late versus Ohio State. He's my guard one before the injuries. If he was on the board in round 5, I would have a hard time passing it. But right now, we still have no left tackle, as crazy as it is.
But we got Chuma Adoga, bro.
Oh, man. Could have gave the
Oh man, don't you just want to throw up at that shit?
Dolphin game.
You got Bo Limmer sitting there. What if you ended up having Barton as your left guard, Tyler your left tackle, and Limmer? Limmer's still sitting there. That's crazy. I would maybe think about that.
6'5". He played guard early in his career, and this past year he slid to center. Played center at the Senior Bowl. Jerry's alma mater, Arkansas. That would be a solid pick too. Very solid. That would be great value round 5.
Well, you make a good point about the alma mater. That always comes into play. It seems like. Any of these D tackles do anything for you in the 5th?
It's a little tougher.
Yeah. There's Evan Anderson that you were talking about earlier, Danny.
I would 7. Yeah.
Edge. Man, see, this edge just doesn't stretch that well in this draft. It's
An edge draft, definitely.
yeah, the options are smaller.
Miles Cole, he's a project. Do you with this pick on Miles Cole, do you take him as a project guy? Texas Tech, from the area, he's probably there at the Dallas Day. He's very raw. This is a guy. Can Mike Zimmer mold this guy? We got new faces in the D-line room. How can they mold a Miles Cole? Right, this guy is rare. You can mold him to what you want. He has super high potential, but there's a lot of risk with Miles Cole.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're saying here too. That's a good one there to consider. 5th, Miles Cole. Cornerback or safety? Is that a low key need for either of you guys?
Corner is.
I think safety is a need because once again, I don't think anyone in our safety room is a Zimmer guy. Zimmer likes the big
We're just talking about that, right? Mike and I were talking about that. Like, Jaron Curse is still a free agent, man. And Zimmer had him in mini, didn't want to bring him back. So I think that says something about that, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the high side of Jaron Curse has fell off. I think those wheels are done. The playmaking ability just isn't there. Dan Quinn resurrected his career kind of like Rod Marinelli did with Jeremy Muncie. But I think the magic dust has expired for Curse.
That's a great comp, bro. Jeremy Muncie, bro. I remember that. God, we were in such a bad
out of him.
We wanted that guy back.
Yeah, Ad is right. Bell's going to replace Curse. Bell's going back to safety.
Yeah, he's got to.
And you got Donald Wilson. You got Malik Hooker. I'm excited to see what Malik Hooker can do under a Mike Zimmer.
The streetwalker, bro. Let's see. The defensive tackles. Man, 5th round. I don't know about any of those guys there, bros.
Northern Iowa.
Yeah, I do like Logan Lee. I'm a fan of him. Just give him some get some weight added on him, and he could be a hell of a player for you, man.
What about Christian Boyd from Northern Iowa? A non-combine invite. They're saying he was a non-combine invite. All these teams are trying to just stash him.
He's
like
one tech, huh?
Our draft simulator is trying to stash him too. We got 16 days to the draft. They're like, coming soon. His report.
Northern Iowa. I feel like there's been another DT from that Northern Iowa. in another draft. So let's maybe take a flyer on him. Edge, don't see it. Linebacker. Eichenberg is there if you want to double dip.
He would pass. I'd be honest with you. He'd be tough to pass round 5. Tommy Two-Bird. He played
Yeah,
years ago. If he's on the board round 5, I'm running like a cell pick.
dude. Yeah, I can't pass that there, Mike. Okay, what about you, Mike? What do you think about Eichenberg? Tommy Eichenberg, the tackling machine.
Oh no, no, that would be my guy right there. I didn't know he was there. Nope, get him.
Get him.
There he is. Man, that linebacker core just looks beautiful just off this draft, man.
Went from weak to great.
Absolutely. We just got 2, especially him, man. He's definitely going to help the run defense. Now we went from a weakness. Now we have a strength.
You can go play a game now. You can right now the Cowboys try to play a game week 1, Texans blown the fuck out. Now we got some players, man.
We're gonna trade Tyron Smith to play linebacker at this point. Hey Jets, you want to trade Tyron Smith to the Cowboys, be a linebacker?
I don't see Tyron lasting 8-9 games with the Jets, especially on that turf.
Yeah, dude. There's no out in the cold too. I'm like, there ain't no way, bro. There ain't no way, man.
Has more victims than Epstein, man.
So yeah. I like this mock draft, man. I think you guys did a really good job here. Barton in the first gives you flex. It's, options is what we need. Edrin Cooper in the second. Braylon Allen gives you that thunder in the third. Eichenberg in the fifth. And then you guys give me that slash related in the draft. We're cooking with some serious oil, baby.
Solid,
I like that.
Solid A right there, that draft, in my opinion.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Just those 4 picks right there. That's 5 rounds, 4 picks. That beats what they drafted last year by a long shot.
It does.
Oh.
It does.
Yeah, dude, man. That last draft class hurt us so much, man. That was fun, guys. That was a lot of fun, man. Can't do this without you guys. Good to have Danny on here with his first appearance on the Frisco Report talking draft.
Thank you.
We'll definitely have him on again here before we get to the main mock.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Yeah, man. We appreciate you guys coming on, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at. Danny, I'll let you go first. Danny, let everybody know where they can find you at, bro.
You can find me on YouTube, Danny Savage, Draft Guru, and the same thing with Twitter, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. I'm easy to find. I did all my corner, which is quarterback is going to drop tomorrow, and I've been doing mocks, and that's it. I'm easy.
That's good, Danny. That's good. Good guy coming in here and enjoying the show. Appreciate you very much, Danny. Hit my boy up, man. Give him a follow on his channel. Follow him on Twitter, man. He's a good guy. Knows his stuff very well. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you.
No, Danny, thanks for coming on the Frisco Report, brother. My guys over on Cowboys Corner know Danny Savage from a couple of shows of Talking Crazy, which is coming back this Saturday. You want to tune in, you want to tune out, that's all up to you. But _ Cowboys Corner on the Twitters. If you're sensitive, don't follow me. You don't want this beef, I promise you. An official Cowboys Corner right here on the tubes. Talking Crazy coming back Saturday.
Hell yeah, bro. I love that show, man. That's a good one. That's a good one indeed, man. Good stuff going on all across the board. Man, we can't do this without you guys. Make sure you pound that like button on your way out. Boom. And we will, catch you for the next one.
I want me some glory hole.
Indeed. Here we go.
I want me some glory hole.